I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to the Queen City of Cincinnati and Paul Brown Stadium right on the banks of the Ohio River. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Denver Broncos. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis with you from our broadcast perch. And, Charles, as we get this thing started, what are you going to be keeping your eye on?
Special teams. Field position is always a big determiner in a ball game. Who sets their offense up for success the best, that team will win the game.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Second and 4. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 39. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
2nd and 11. That will be incomplete. Try to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth.
The mic. 56 is the mic. Here we go, here we go.
Go.
56, Mike, 56.
Go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
Well, peel back the curtain, partner. We've got a pretty good look into how they plan to play this game. Aggressive seems to be the word. Going for it on fourth down in that situation.
Yeah, opening drive. Now, we know this coaching staff, they have traits of aggression in their history, but what a start to this game. They're going for it.
Yeah, a lot of people might say reckless, but they got it. 1 for 1 on fourth down here early in the game.
Switch.
Get it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man.
2nd and 10. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in with the production.
And they'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive.
Partner, I think we can all agree that was a pretty darn good opening drive right there. And the key to it all, going for it on fourth down earlier in the drive. Set a tone for it. And the best part, they made it pay off.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. That time, a 9-play drive. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
60 out more.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is taken at the 23. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice and it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
Ready?
You got nothing today. You got nothing. Let's go.
2nd and 5. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he comes back with one complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a first down for them, too.
Set. 8, read.
Defense, check.
There. 5.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Let's go, buddy.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Let's go. 18, Gator.
Watch the pass. Big dance, big dance.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
Ready? 50. Play.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman. He's in Orlando, and he'll have our EA Sports halftime report. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he bulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And when the smaller guy can't power it across the goal line, Charles, sometimes you need to go with a fullback. They did. It worked.
What's that thing about force and mass? How's that?
Oh, yeah. Force equals mass times acceleration.
Oh, that's big-time stuff. That's from the same guy the apple dropped on his head, right?
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Charles, as this offense comes out here, let's talk about the AFC Championship game coming up. Kansas City hosting Tennessee. The Chiefs the winner over the Texans in the divisional round. But even before they took the field, they got a surprise gift on Saturday night with those Titans winning in Baltimore to set up the unexpected matchup.
But sometimes a gift isn't exactly a gift because they went from thinking they had to chase around Lamar Jackson to having to fortify themselves against Derrick Henry and the 250 pounds of man coming at them running the football. That run defense that got better as the season went on, it will get severely tested in this one. I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
Let's go now. 30 base.
Right there, 56. I got you.
Ready?
He'll look to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. They'll drop to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? Wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Well, as they come out here to set up shop for this next drive, let's talk about the NFC Championship game coming up. San Francisco hosting Green Bay. It was the road teams winning in the wild card round, Seattle, Minnesota, but the home teams bounced back in the divisional round. 49ers beating the Vikings and the Pack beating Seattle and Lambeau. So sets up a great NFC Championship game.
And a rematch of their regular season meeting that San Francisco dominated. Don't think Green Bay has forgotten that one. They have not traveled well to the West Coast this season, losing at the Chargers, losing at San Francisco. I think they'll play much better in this one. Aaron Rodgers burning to get back to the Super Bowl yet again.
Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, CD, with the end of the season comes the announcement of the All-Pro team, and everybody was like, wait a second, Christian McCaffrey's listed twice. Is that a mistake? No, he got it both at running back and flex. Pretty impressive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Now back to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here at half number 1.
55. Check, 55. Mike. Pick it up, guys.
Now.
Back to throw now on first down. And he will find his man on the outside. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And his kick here is good. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has certainly been one-sided to this point. It's a 2-touchdown difference, as the teams have already come back out onto the field for the second half. So let's get you back out as well to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3.
Come on, fellas.
Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But
this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll have a first down past the 40. And finally down at the 41-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Here we go. 18 Gator.
You rush.
Let's go.
On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it. And the return will stop right around the 25. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Wide open receiver complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
On the set.
56 is the mic.
Hey, check. Five.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Yards on the punt, just 2 on the return, and the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Got to be careful here, backed up this deep on 3rd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's pulled in at the 32. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Denver has the first down, the play going for 15 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete here. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. He'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. From 13 yards out. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. That time a 6-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number as empirical.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Rock it. Leo.
Switch it, come on, switch it. Check. Big Ed. Check 31.
Yes.
Man, move it. You gotta get that.
Hey, Lee Griffin.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. The Bengals bring out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So the Broncos now down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. They'll look to throw here. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Right there, 56.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, Pete. Ready?
And he'll give it here to his running back. And some space here. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Point after here coming up. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. Well, they got the ball in great field position. 1 play later, boom, end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
7 yards there and a first down. Wide open receiver complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Second down and inches. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
15-1.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And when you break it down, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting. But obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.